This week on Lone Lobos.
I am voicing in Sakamoto Days, and my first episode came out Monday.
Who are you playing?
I play Akira. So I wouldn't say it's easier. I wouldn't say it's harder than originating a role in just normal voiceover. I would just say it's different. It's very different. I'm glad that I stuck at my school and I didn't just go to a theater school, but going to London made me reminisce and have those experiences of having a community that loves the same things as I love.
I saw it before you. Just let the record stay.
Oh, well, I saw the backstage of
I'm
it.
a real theater kid.
This made me realize how much I talk during movies, because every time I wanted to turn and talk to Xolo, I was like, oh, let me write it down.
And
I've
also,
addressed
half
the
of
problem.
those you should keep in your head anyways.
Jacob on Sakamoto Days.
This is our Jacob. This is our
Oh, yeah,
Gaku. Yeah, whatever you want, boss.
I'm not going to deal with this old guy.
3, 2, 1, go! Come on.
Alrighty. Welcome to this newest week of the Lone Lobos podcast. I'm one half of your host today, Xolo Maridueña, joined by someone that I share chromosomes with.
That is true.
And also perhaps, aside from Jacob Scott Thomas Bertrand, our most frequented guest on the podcast. She needs no introduction, but if this is your first time listening, she is a actor, student of life, and this week, filling in for Jacob Scott Thomas Bertrand, I'm joined by Oshún Ramirez. Thank you so much for coming on, tuners. You look very good. You fit in really nicely with the color palette today of the podcast. Repping your Sakamoto Days hoodie, repping senior year, and also some fine jewelry that you picked up in your time studying abroad in London. How are you feeling today, tuners?
I'm feeling awesome. I just broke my ring. I just started my second week of school in my senior year.
You just started your second week of senior year. And if I've learned anything from the summer I turned pretty, senior year is where it all goes down.
Senior year.
How are you feeling having started the last first day of high school?
So I flew back from London on my actual first day of school. And so I started on the second day of school as everyone else.
Because you can't be like everyone else.
Yeah,
Clearly.
I'm just different like that.
And was everyone like, oh, where were you?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I was in London for a month studying theater, like a cool person. But it was really cool because my first day of school, we had a water slide and we had an In-N-Out food truck.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
And it was really hot. It's really hot in LA. And
That's
I forgot
fantastic.
how sunny and hot LA is.
What's your most exciting class this year?
I would say Engineer Your World. It's like an engineering class. Today, we started building a car out of cardboard. And we have to try and figure out, he just gives us the measurements and the pieces, and then we have to figure out how to make the car go.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
All right. And are you having a blast with your senior year, or is it actually is it stressful? Are you excited? Do you have senioritis already?
Oh, I don't know about the senioritis yet. I am really excited because I get to do my first play ever. I've never done plays. I've only done musical theater, and I'm really excited to get to do my first play. We're doing Jekyll and Hyde, The Chemical Imbalance, and it's a British show, and I have to do a British accent.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, depending on which character I get cast in.
Well, I mean, you definitely have some experience being around a good bit of London accents, having just spent a month and then some studying abroad. Does that experience, which we'll get into in a second, make you want to apply to a college out in London?
Ooh, I don't know. I
You
think
don't
I
know?
definitely want to try and apply to a school that has study abroad because I think that'd be really cool, getting to
Okay.
study around. Because what I really liked in London is that I got to be around a bunch of different people from a bunch of different countries. Like I was
Okay.
around people from Italy, from Romania, from Spain, from Puerto Rico. It was awesome.
What were you doing in London?
So the first 3 weeks that I was out there, I was doing a musical theater program at the Dominion Theater, which, if you're not familiar with London, which I was not, it's a theater in the West End that is currently showing The Devil Wears Prada, which is a new musical that they're only playing in the West End, which I
Okay.
really liked. I went to go see it, and I think you went to go see it too. And I
Mhm.
loved it. I thought it was
I saw it
funny.
before you. Just let the record state.
Oh, well, I saw the backstage of
I'm a
it.
real theater kid.
Oh, yeah, well, I know that the oldest theater in London is Drury Lane. So, skaboosh.
Okay, so how was your time? You know, were there any things that you were apprehensive or nervous about? You know, heading to a whole ass other country, studying this thing that you really enjoyed. Did it? You know what? Tell us about it.
So, I guess what I was most nervous about is that I was really wanting to know, like, if I was good. And I feel
Okay.
like that might be odd, but like in theater, usually at school or even at a community theater, you're surrounded by the same people. And so that's kind of the same competition always. And either you always get ensemble or you always get a lead, and that's kind of the base level you're at. And so I was nervous going into a group of new people, not knowing if my base level is someone's advanced level or if my base level is someone's beginner level. And so it was kind of, I was nervous to see how that was going to work out. It ended up being great. Everyone at the company was so great. We were all so supportive of each other. And it was really awesome because I got to learn a bunch about the West End theater from the actors of a technical point, like being in like the union or like stuff like that. And then learning about it from their point of view as being on stage and performing, which is really awesome. And I got to see a bunch of shows while I was out there. It was really fun.
And after having finished the program, did you find out that like they aren't going to give you the trophy, right? Like, or is there
So,
really a person that could tell you that you are good, or is it more of an internal feeling?
So that was definitely, I was kind of waiting for someone to tell me, like, oh, you're doing really good at this, or you need more work on that. It wasn't really that. It was you going into classes and self assessing yourself, being like, oh, well, I know I'm not a really strong dancer, so I need to work really hard in the dance classes. Or I'm an amazing singer, so I want to learn more about technique with singing. At least that's how I took it.
Okay.
And so there wasn't like anyone being like, "Oh, this person was the best at this, that person was the best at that." It was really a lot of us learning how to work on our own strengths and our own weaknesses. Because personally, I'm not the strongest dancer. I'm a good dancer. I got rhythm, but I don't have jazz technique, which is like pirouettes and stuff like that. And so I got to learn a lot about that. And even with singing, I got to learn a lot about how your voice works, and it was really helpful, and I enjoyed it.
And what is it that you guys were doing each day? Like, were you just singing and dancing? Were you getting to act? Were you, you know, what is one going to expect if they enroll in a course like this?
So for my course in particular, because I did two courses and the second course was very different than this one. But the first one was every day you would have your singing, dancing, and then another class. And for me, one of those classes I did was stage combat,
Okay.
which was really awesome. I love stage combat. And it wasn't like fencing and stuff like that, which I love. I love fencing as well. But it was more stage combat and like punching and slapping and kicking. And that was really fun. We got to do a couple days of stage combat. We did a comedy workshop. And essentially, what these workshops are is that, like, we had a Wicked workshop, and that was learning dances from Wicked. But then we had a Les Mis workshop, which was doing singing and dancing. But this comedy workshop was that we were doing scripts from plays, like
Mm.
comedic British plays.
Hmm.
But then we would have like Mamma Mia, which I was really excited about because I love Mamma Mia. But a lot of them were like dancing based. A lot of the workshops themselves were dancing based. And then we had acting classes, and I had an improv class. And I'm in an improv group, technically, in my high school.
Okay.
But doing improv around a bunch of people of different age groups, first of all, a bunch of people that speak a bunch of different languages, and then also like British comedy is different than American comedy. They're a lot more sarcastic and like they're more subtle with their comedy. It was really weird. It was different, but it was fun. I love improv, so getting to do improv in any case was really fun. We got to make a lot of tableaus.
What's a tableau?
So a tableau is in the wording example of improv is a bunch of people will set a descriptor, a painting. And so they'll all freeze and it's like a grocery store. So there will be someone checking out items, there'll be someone reaching for something in a shelf. And that will be like the tableau frozen image. And that's also part of improv. Oh.
What's funny about a tableau?
The way that you could do it. So like we had a grocery store and I was a trash can and then another person was a dead cockroach on the floor. One of them was a policeman, one of them was a robber, one of them was
Okay.
the shelf itself. So it was really getting to be anything and interpret it any way you want. And we did a bunch of those. What about
did you end up
you?
thinking of? What
Because
about
you
me?
had a
Tell me.
class in London as well that you've got to talk about a little, but I remember you said you had a clown class.
Yeah, I did. Honestly, a little bit of what you're saying about the tableau does remind me of the working clown. When we were doing it, we only had 2 sessions, like an hour each, but I think probably similar to improv, there are no wrong answers, but different than a tableau with our specific class, everyone was really allowed to do whatever they wanted. We could, you know, watching some of the other performances, there was definitely more structure than we had, but there were people reciting Shakespeare that was funny. There were people like making political jokes. There were folk making pop culture references that, everyone would get, memes and stuff like this. Um, it wasn't like red-nosed clown stuff, although that's a whole other part of clown. But that was, I mean, just maybe 2% of all that we did over in the course. I'm still having although it's wrapped up, a hard time like wrapping my brain around the whole experience. I can tell that it was really positive and that I enjoyed myself, but I'm definitely still marinating on what it was that went down. It felt, similar to our experiences on sets in that you're in an environment with people 12 hours a day making really awesome, strong relationships, and then a month in, and you guys all go in your separate directions, and you know, one friend heads back to San Diego, and the other one heads back to Austria, and another one goes back to India. So I really valued the crash course intensive nature of it and being able to learn so much in one short month, and I'm excited to see how I can start applying myself, moving forward. I would really like to get to do more Shakespeare specifically, but also it's opened the door to, you know, I watched a lot of shows with you while I was out in London and got to see some shows otherwise. So in those ways, I really feel inspired to do more theater, something that I definitely don't have a lot of experience in. But uh, also, I just really have, I wouldn't say fall in love, but really appreciated all that London has to offer. Um, it's there's something about being in a place away from your home where a lot of the times you can fall into routine or kind of resort to hanging out with your friends and family and doing all the things that you do by habit because that's what you've been doing for years. And being in a new place, a lot of that is flipped on its head. It sounds corny or whatnot, but there's no yeah, we weren't cooking. Or I wasn't cooking. You were definitely were still chefing it up. Um, but it just felt very different than back home. What did you think of London?
So what I thought was like, I had a bunch of awesome moments in London. I think what you're talking about is like being with those people all the time. And especially my classes weren't as long as your were, but I was staying in a dorm
Yeah.
with about 5, 6 other of my students. And a lot of them were from different places in the world. So 3 of them were from Romania, and it was awesome. I love them. I got to learn a bunch of different Romanian words, which I will not say on this podcast, but got to learn
We've said worse, I
some
promise you.
words. But there was one from there. There was one from Beijing, China. She was really nice. And then we had a girl from San Francisco,
Yeah. They're close by from the Bay.
something like that. And then we had one girl join us from Pennsylvania. And it was really cool because we all just got to talk to each other and talk about our different experiences in theater because all of us had done it in a different degree. Some of them go to theater high schools, and then some of them do theater like at big, like community theaters in their country.
Give us an anecdote. What were some of the highlights of your month out here? You did a bunch.
I would say a highlight is that I got to perform at His Majesty's Theatre, which is the theater in London that holds the Phantom of the Opera. And I
Okay.
got to perform on that stage for my second course. I performed a Wizard of
Okay.
Oz Wicked medley thingy, a showcase that you went to and Dad went to. And it was really
You did a great job.
amazing because backstage we got to see all of the prop pieces. We got to see giant statues, we got to see fireplaces, and
Whoa.
like we saw some of the costumes and wigs too, and it was amazing. And I've never seen Phantom of the Opera. I'm going to see it when it comes here in California, but I just loved it. I think also just having that community of people that love the same thing as I love is really amazing. And it kind of makes me like reminisce as like I wanted to go to a theater high school really bad. And like in my freshman year still I was like, "Oh, I want to transfer. I want to go to a high school that's just for theater." But now that I'm in my senior year, I'm really glad that I stuck at my high school cuz I've
Hmm.
got to become really well-rounded because my cousin went to an only theater high school. They didn't have sports, they didn't have stuff like that. And I
And you're
really
totally into sports. You do that all the time.
hey, I was on the varsity swim team my freshman year before I hurt my ankle and got pulled out of swim. But anyway, I was a varsity athlete,
I
so
can't speak. I was only on varsity because they only had enough players for varsity.
well,
So,
that's what happened with swim too. We only had enough players to have a varsity team. There was no other type of team. But I still did great. But anyway, I just think that going into my senior year, I get to be really well-rounded. And
mhm.
I'm glad that I stuck at my school and I didn't just go to a theater school, but going to London made me reminisce and like have those experiences of having a
Oh, yeah.
community that loves the same things as I love.
Does it make you want to, when you're thinking about, your higher education, are you maybe going to do a school that is more well-rounded like you're talking about? Or would you like to have something a bit more specific?
So I went to a lot of schools in New York that I like looked at. Um, but I would say I want to go to a school where I can get my general education. I want to go to a school where I could like have requirements for math and sciences and stuff like that. Cause I still enjoy taking science classes. Like I want to major in musical theater, but I love like chemistry, biology. I love science so much. And so I would want to have a well-rounded education.
Okay. Are there any prospects? Any like specific places? Do you have a top choice for your school? This is your senior year. How do you not know this?
Okay, so I do have some top choices. I would say Northwestern is my number one right now. We'll see if
Okay.
that changes. Okay, mom does not agree with me. Northwestern's pretty up there though, in my opinion. Maybe not. Rider University is a good one too. They do a lot of theater. Um, I don't know. I definitely want to look into more theater-based colleges, and then some colleges in New York I want to go to before things happen. I don't really know if I want to go there anymore though. In New York, maybe not like New York, but there's another school that I really do want to look at that I cannot remember the name of, so I will not say
Okay. That's fair
it.
enough. There still is some time. I think you definitely have a lot to get into in this last year. Like we're just at the beginning, so it makes sense that you don't know too much about it just yet, but it's definitely something that you're gonna get on sooner than later.
So yeah.
And you're also booked and busy. You're not just going to high school, you're not just, involving yourself in extracurriculars over the summer, but quite literally, while you were in London, you also were recording dubbing for an anime for the first time.
Yes, I was dubbing for an
You've been in
amazing
voiceovers
anime.
before. You've gotten the chance to originate the voices of characters and, come up with what they sound like for the first time. But this is your first time for anime, at least, because you've done some dubbing before, but your first time for anime getting to do a character. And
Yeah.
you're a big anime fan.
I am a big anime fan. So, in case it doesn't say in the title of this or we didn't say it right now, I am voicing in Sakamoto Days, and my first episode came out Monday, July
It's already out.
18th. It's out, and you can watch
What's up?
Sakamoto Days.
Who are you playing?
I play Akira, and she's a little blue-haired, nervous girl with hair that makes her look like a cat, and I personally love that about her. I love that she looks like a cat. I think it's so cute. And for the longest time, like, when I think of anime voices, I think of, like, those kawaii kinda cute cat girls, and it reminds me
Okay.
of, like, My Hero, which I think My Hero was the first anime I ever watched.
Okay.
And I do love anime. I'm still watching anime, along with Sakamoto Days. I'm watching Danzadan, which is
Yeah.
recorded, like, in the same studio as we're recording in. It's great, and it's so cool. I get to see those posters. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Netflix is definitely, doing their thing with animation right now and anime.
they're popping off.
Are you, and we haven't really gotten a chance to talk with Jacob about it because his episodes also have just been
Yeah.
recently coming out, but you are alongside some of the voiceover legends. Matt Mercer, who plays Sakamoto, who dubs for
Yes.
Taro Sakamoto, is one of your favorites. What do you know him
S
from?
I know Matt Mercer from a kind of show called Critical Role, and he's a DM, he's a dungeon master. I love
Okay.
D&D. For the people that don't know, I love D&D. And he is a DM for Critical Role, and I believe they also have a show on Amazon Prime, I think.
Oh,
Um,
yes, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Okay.
that I believe he's
So
also part of. And I just
y
he's a voice in, Date Everything, which is a video game, and I think he's the DM, the voice for the D20.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
I love
you
Matt
you
Mercer, he's
definitely
great.
are in the presence of some people to help push you. You interact a lot with Matt Mercer in the show, and I got
Dallas.
to sit in when you were out here in London recording on one of your sessions, and was just floored at your ability to get through lines. Uh, you know, both with you and Bill, the voiceover director and
He's
and
great.
episodic director, um, you just are kind of made to do anime, and I'm excited to hopefully get to, in the bonus for this episode, hear your first clip, um, from the episode that released recently.
I haven't watched it yet. As the time
Yeah,
of us
it's
recording this, I have not seen it.
that's well, that's right now, yeah. So can you kind of break down, um, what the biggest difference for you is in dubbing versus your previous work in voiceover? Is it harder? Is it easier?
So, I would say dubbing for anime specifically, because I had done dubbing for live action people.
Yeah.
I dubbed a show from Spanish into English, because
Okay.
English is the language I know. And for anime, it was hard at first because I was getting used to the flaps of their mouth, because obviously they can't have the same flaps as humans do. So it was a little odd for me to figure out the timing, but I picked it up really fast, which I think helped me because I know tempo and music and stuff like that. And so I could
Mm,
kind of feel the beats of the way that their mouths are moving and then be like, okay, this is how fast I need to say this. That's the tempo I need to say that in. And I
True.
wouldn't say it's easier because I definitely have to take into account the original voice actor in Japanese. I have to take into account what I'm getting told by the director. He's amazing. He's great. He's one of the most helpful people I've ever worked with in my life. He made my
Nice.
first dubbing experience really amazing and awesome. So I wouldn't say it's easier. I wouldn't say it's harder than originating a role in just normal voiceover. I would just say it's different. It's very different. But I enjoyed it and I would love to do more of it. Um,
I
yeah.
think you will. You haven't read the manga yet, but your character, is definitely present from her arrival. So
Yes.
definitely do yourself a favor and start reading up on that because before the podcast you said, I don't know what the fate of my character is, and it's quite literally already spelled out in 400 chapters.
Oh
So,
yeah. And Jacob did tell me, he texted me, he was like, "What? I just heard about this." And he was like, "Do you know how crazy that is?" And it's definitely also extremely special because, Lone Lobos is taking over anime because you get to be in this show. And in that episode, we don't interact, unfortunately.
yeah, we'll see
I'm
we'll see
talking
when we
to
do.
mostly Dallas and Matt Mercer. Um,
Yeah, Shin and Sakamoto.
so what was really interesting is that at the time that I was recording my parts in the episode, they hadn't done it yet. So it was weird. I was recording
Mm.
to silence, or not silence. I was recording to the Japanese dubbing, and then I was the only English dub that was recorded at the time that I was recording that episode.
The best thing, or not the best thing, but one of the pleasures of getting to do dubbing for anime though is that they already have the animation.
Yes.
It's not like sometimes other voiceover animation work where you're working before you even get the animation. So having, although it is tougher to match with the voice flaps, getting to quite literally see how your character is moving and interacting with the rest of the world that they're in is definitely, especially for your character who's so dynamic and really like vibrant. I got to imagine that that's kind of so helpful to get to follow along with the story and really
Yes.
imagine what's going on.
I think what also was really great is that and I'm sure you experienced this too, is that I've had to be so expressive. Like,
Yeah.
there's something that he said called the double pump, where it's like you express you express yourself.
Yeah, I do the
Mom
double
is
pump in some
laughing.
other ways, but
But it's
they
like
call me the double pump chump. I don't know what that means, but
so it's like being double expressive. So it's like laughing and the animation is making like a like that type of movement. And so you have to do that while watching it. But
mm, yeah, there's honestly it, those specific words that you just said reminded me a bit of what we're doing in Shakespeare, and that with iambic pentameter or trochees and stuff like that, the way that we speak has a natural already, rhythm to it. And in Japanese, it's a bit different. And in anime,
yes.
it's a bit different than how we speak in English. So kind of meeting in the middle with, is it's definitely an art. And you're so, you know, um, what's the word for it? You're already
Expressive.
not, yes, you're definitely already expressive, but you picked it up so fast. And I'm really excited to get to not only hear your voice, but to see what the heck are you going to try to surprise your friends and just watch it and be like, oh, what the
Whoa, what is
does your
this?
voice sound like who you are? What do you think?
I haven't so the only time I heard it playing was when he played it back for me while we were in the
Okay.
studio. So I don't know what the final cut looks like, and I'm really nervous. So when I've listened to myself do voiceovers before, I always get a little cringed out because I feel like for me personally, it's a little odd hearing your voice. I've gotten way more used to it as I've been
Okay.
working more and more. And I don't know if you experienced that because I remember you showing me the first time you show up on Sakamoto Days as Hisuke. And you were really nervous because, like, just before that, I was like, oh, yeah, these guys, their voice acting is so interesting. I
Which
was like, "Their
guys?
dubbing is so interesting." It was like a group of gangsters or something,
In
and
Sakamoto
in
Days?
Sakamoto Days, and I was like, "Oh, their voice acting so interesting." And he was like, And I just remember you being like, oh, yeah, huh, their voices, yep, super interesting. Because you were just really nervous about what I would think. And I'm nervous about what others would think. But I hope so that everyone will like it and enjoy it. But I think getting to work with you again, because we got to work briefly in Blue Beetle, and just getting to work with you again on a project like this is awesome. I will say a funny story that I have of recording in London is that I'm sitting there, I'm in this 3-hour-long session,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm chugging bottles of water. I think I drank like 4 bottles of water.
You were drunk?
Yeah. I was out there in the pubs in London, you know.
No, you drank.
I was drinking a lot of water. And then they call Xolo in. They're like, okay, we're going to get ready on our session. He records 3 lines, maybe. Like
Yeah.
10-minute session, and they're done. And I'm just sitting there like, I groveled for 3 hours, and you're done. I was
Yeah,
like,
you
"You're
thought your
done."
job was hard. I had to fucking sit there for 3 hours, do nothing. I mean, that was the hardest part.
Yeah. And I think also, especially because the first time I recorded, I was in LA, and it was the day after my birthday. So it was my first day as a 17-year-old. And I was working on this job that I love so much. And I love Sakamoto Days. And everyone should go watch it on Netflix to enjoy Xolo Maridueña as Hisuke and Jacob Scott Bertrand as
Jacob Scott.
Gaku?
Gaku.
Gaku? Deku? What's his name?
Gaku?
He's not Deku. Yeah. Gaku.
Gaku? As Gaku. Because Xolo and I
And
are
you as
we're the
Akira.
good guys.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know how good you
are
can be about a show about assassins where we all murder people. I don't know how good you can be, but relatively speaking.
in that universe, we're the good guys.
Yeah. I mean, yo, what can I say?
Hey, yo. Quickly before we wrap up and head into our bonus, out of curiosity,
Mhm.
are you watching The Summer I Turned Pretty or no?
So, I watched the first season with my cousin. Never got around
Okay.
to the second season. Third
Okay.
season, haven't watched it. But
Okay, well.
my cousin is very adamant about it. So I know everything that happens in every episode. So
Okay.
hashtag Team Conrad. Hashtag
You're Team Conrad?
Hashtag I hope Belly ends up alone, low-key. I'm anti-Belly because her character is just like, you're tearing up this brotherhood. They're brothers. Why are you choosing to date between them? That's also a plot point in the life
Is
of the
it not the
Walter
men's
Boys.
fault?
Okay.
Like, they are older than her and just can
That's
say
what makes
no.
it extra weird. I just think that whole dynamic, I don't really like shows like that. I think that's weird. Like, that's odd. I don't know why she's choosing to date between 2 people that are related. That's weird.
Well, they don't really look alike. Maybe that's, and they don't even
One of
really
them's
act like brothers,
blonde, one
to
of
be
them has
honest.
brown hair. Different people.
Yeah, no, I am
Are you watching this?
finished with season 2 and getting started on season 3.
I will say
And
personally, my favorite person, love interest, was Cam Cameron.
Cam Cameron?
Season 1.
Oh my God, that guy
That's my
books
guy.
Jurassic World. I can't support him.
He was
sorry.
also in Dead Boy Detectives. I love
Really?
that show. Yeah, he was a demon.
Did he have a British accent or no?
No, because he was the
Oh, it's not a
American
British show?
demon. It is a British show, but he's
Okay.
a demon and, from America. So
Classic
classic Americans.
British lore. Yeah, he does have well, you haven't seen the show. His character is good, Cam Cameron.
I have seen the show. I just haven't seen the 2nd or 3rd season.
All right, so you've started the show.
Yeah, when it first came out.
Well, if anyone's wondering, not that anyone asked, but I am team mom. I think Belly's mom is the best
She
character.
needs a break.
She's
Have you seen Jeremiah's
Messy
Ring?
runs in the family because she was in a throuple as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm like, damn, I thought it was just looks and temperament that you get from your family, but I guess thruples is also something that you can pass down.
I will say that if you've seen season 3, there's a scene where Belly's eating a peach. And I
Okay.
swear they put a water hose in it because it has so much liquid. And I don't know how a peach can be that moist. Like, it's like, I guess it's supposed to be like a part of the scene, but it's like dripping and it's weird. And I don't know how the fruit is like that. Like, I feel like
Oh
they
man, you
added
gotta watch
water.
Call Me by Your Name.
Okay, yeah, I've heard about that. We saw Mamma Mia, and we both thought it was amazing. And
Yeah, we
Mamma
saw
Mia
Mamma Mia
came out
together. We
on my
went to go
birthday.
to this really nice movie theater out here in London called Everyman.
Can we
And
talk really fast about Fantastic Four?
yeah, of course.
Okay, so I went to go see Fantastic Four with Xolo. I know we're about to wrap up.
No, you're good.
But I went to go see Fantastic Four with Xolo. And I am a notorious talker during movies. I talk a
Yeah,
lot
you're the
during
reason that
movies.
movies are gonna die, Oshun, because nobody's gonna want to go to the movie theaters when little girls are giggling the whole movie.
Okay.
Not even just giggling, but like actively talking.
Okay, but Xolo made a point of like, this is a really nice movie theater, okay? Let's not talk. And then he was like, you know what? If you have a thought, write it down in notes. He was joking. I wasn't joking. I wrote a lot of notes about what
And
I
I think
thought about the Fantastic Four.
you really
So this made me
like
realize how much I talk during movies because every time I wanted to turn and talk to Xolo, I was like, oh, let me write it down.
and
I've
also
addressed the
half of
problem.
those you should keep in your head anyways. Let's just read it. Yeah. Just go
Oh,
down some of the
one of
list here.
them is the baby's eyebrow raise was really odd. Cause
That can stay in your head. You do not need to turn to someone and say,
Okay, so and then there was a scene where the baby, like Reed, had created this X-ray machine, or like she made her belly clear.
no, she's the Invisible Woman.
So she made her belly clear, and they showed the
Sue
baby,
Storm.
and I hated it. It looked so weird. It looked like a
Wait,
scene out of
that was
Alien.
you
I
thought that
didn't
that was
like.
the weirdest womb scene. The weirdest womb scene was Silver Surfer
Oh, reaching into.
reaching. It's oh my god! Can you imagine being the baby in that moment? You're just like chefing it up in the womb. You're like, oh yeah, all is normal here, eating from my fucking umbilical cord, and all of a sudden, an invisible hand comes through. Not, yeah, that's
What did I?
they were really. You had no notes about that. You
Oh,
were
but
like,
I
yep.
did have a note about the scene after where Johnny says, "Don't tell me how to kill sexy aliens." I thought Joseph Quinn did great in this movie. I loved him in this movie, and I also
How
love
has
the
that
thing.
man worked more on than anyone else on Stranger Things? He's that
He's
dude
everywhere.
has been in like 6 movies in the span of 1 season of Stranger Things. Let's wrap things up for the main episode here.
Okay.
We're going to get to hear in the bonus your first clip of your episode. Do you have any preface?
It doesn't sound like me.
It doesn't sound like
Because
you.
personally, I think that you and Jacob sound really similar to your characters. Yeah, you know, Xolo, oh, you're always going, yo, 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 yo. And I also think that your character reminds me of Gigi from Danzadan. Because I was watching the new season and I didn't realize how much
Mm.
he said yo.
I mean, it's like that in the manga as well. I wish that I could say that I came up with that, but that's all in the manga already. So I'm very excited to get to hear it. Congratulations on a new role. Please, everyone, if you haven't already, stay for this episode. And then once we're finished, check out Sakamoto Days only on Netflix. Tuners, we wrap up most of our episodes, as you know,
Song of the
with
week.
Song of the Week.
I have my
What's
song.
been on your mind?
So I'm cheating and I have 2 answers.
Okay.
And one of them is a whole album. So Renee Rapp's entire new album,
Oh God. You're
Bite
putting
Me,
her whole album?
is
Okay.
amazing. I love every single song and I need to go to a tour. And then my song of the week is The Subway from Chaperone.
She's gone away. She's run away. I went to the club the other day and they had a rave version of that song.
See, you know what I want to do? As soon as I turn 18, I want to go to a Broadway rave where they play Hamilton and they play Heathers, and I want to go. Do you see Xolo's
Yeah. Yeah, you're we got nothing to worry about.
Hey. Yeah, one of my friends said that she's going to get a fake ID that only makes her 18 so she can go to a Broadway rave. You know,
Kids these
theater
days are
kids, we have
different.
our priorities.
Yeah, no. I really appreciate that. Okay. So Bite Me by Renee Rapp is your song of
Entire
the week.
album. No, but my
Okay,
song
yeah.
of the week is The Subway by Chaperone.
Oh, okay.
Just
So that's just
another
what you've been listening to. I
girl
love
on
that.
the
Okay. It's an
subway.
honorable mention, if you will. All right. Well, that I think may be our first Chaperone song on the playlist. So
I
thank you
think
for
I
blessing
gave
us.
a Chaperone
Oh,
song
you did?
before. I
Oh,
think I
yeah.
did.
Well, the
I
first one of
probably,
this
yeah.
year's version.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
We do. Yeah, we have last year's and this year's. Jordan,
Yeah.
Song of the week.
what about you? What's your song of the week?
My song of the week is I'm gonna go with.
Wait, is that
Throwback.
new ink?
It's yes.
Oh, you hadn't seen it
Wait
yet?
a
Whoa.
second. Oh my
What are you talking
God.
about?
Jordan, I'm so
My mom is
disappointed
gonna
in
watch
you.
this. God. No, my song of the week is a throwback. It's Wayne Wonder, No Letting Go. I don't know.
I don't know what that song is.
I know you don't, but
No letting go.
no.
I'm gonna.
No.
No letting go.
No, you don't know it. It's okay, you don't know it. It's like a dance hall record from like 2007.
Oh, so before I was born.
Before you were born.
The year Jacob joined SAG.
Whoa. The year Jacob joined what?
SAG.
SAG.
And we know that just because we know Jacob's SAG number. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my song of the week.
I love it. My song of the week is Drapetomania off of Chance the Rapper's new album, Starline. Anyone knows me knows that I love Chance the Rapper. He is one of the people that got me to fall in love with hip hop, and I really enjoy this new album. He's got a new chain. You know what it says, Oshun?
What? 3? Or no, what's it?
Fuck!
5?
So what about you? We have a fourth guest in the room, not Hikama, but another dog.
Where's Monica? Monica's in Japan. So shout out Monica.
Monica is in Japan
But
right
off
now.
camera here. We have a mic there.
And we have a lovely guest.
We
Moderator,
have
you
someone
could say.
who has been judging us and our radio mic skills the whole episode.
The whole episode. Someone
None
who pushed
other-
you out. Song of the week. Sitting on Chrome, Master Ace.
Master Ace.
That's literally not what that song sounds like. I don't
Sitting
know
on
what you're saying.
Chrome. Right? That's how it goes.
Yes.
You know what I can't believe I didn't say? Tyler, the Creator's new album. Shatter the glass. Tap the glass.
Don't tap the glass.
Don't tap the glass.
We had some of that on a few weeks ago.
Okay, good. It's a great album.
You like Chaperone though?
I love Chaperone
Cool.
and Renee Rapp.
Thank you, Oshun, again for joining us on the podcast. Everyone, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I would love to get to shout out our Lobito of the week. And while we source who that person is, I would like to remind you that if you want to listen and support this podcast directly by, getting to watch the unedited, ad-free extended version each and every week, you can do so at supercast.com. Supercast.lonelobos.com.
LoneLobos.supercast.com.
Oh, for real?
Do we have any merch that's circulating the Lone Lobo verse? But we got 2 places we could get
We got
merch.
2 places you can get merch.
Okay.
One of them is lonelobos.com and the other is Xolo.
Hey, Xolo.
Okay.
I have an album out, an EP, if you will, Scarab Tapes, and all information can be found on our website, heyxolo.com. That's HEYXOLO.com. And without further ado, do we have our Lobito of the week?
Yes.
Yes, we do. Let's see right here. What? Am I looking at this correct?
That's it.
That's your name.
We have a Super Lobito. Bean. Super Bean. Not to be confused with
Beans Bertrand.
myself. No, Beans Bertrand. Beans Bertrand doesn't even exist. Only in Jacob's head. Nobody's going to allow him to name his kid that. But in all seriousness, Bean, last name
Redacted.
Yeah.
redacted. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast. Beans are really important. a really important source of what's in a bean,
Protein.
really.
Fiber,
It's protein.
protein, some carbohydrate.
Delicious frijoles.
It's wonderful
Gas,
food.
more like it.
Ba-dum-bum.
Bum. Bean, we really appreciate you. If you want to be like Bean and support our podcast directly, you can do so at lonelobos.supercast.com. Again, thank you so much. We will see you in the bonus in a few moments.
Bye.
This episode of Lone Lobos is a Lone Lobos production, produced by Monica Tamayo and JMKM, with intro music by Nicholas Gray. Like what you hear? Check us out on Instagram at Lone Lobos.